eBucks has changed rules again starting from November 2025. I know, yeah, you were getting used to the July rules and now changing again. Can be a bit intimidating, but I'm just gonna create an update video today on how you can still try to get to level 5. Yes, there are changes which makes it more difficult to get to level 5, and the way the benefits are structured has also changed, referring to the percentage back you're getting eBucks. Other than that, today's video will be focusing on how you can still get to level 5 and benefits that will not be part of this video, but maybe I can create that into another one. So today we'll just focus on primarily on how we can still get to level 5 quickly in November 2025. Okay, eBucks. Okay, firstly we have to have a disclaimer. All of this is just for general informational purposes and should not be considered as any form of advice. So use this information at your own risk. For today's video, I'm going to take you through the example of a FNB Premier account holder. So you could probably apply something similar to if you're a private client account holder or you're a private wealth account holder. But maybe I'll create videos if I get the time. And two things that you probably already aware of if you've seen the previous video, but if you're new here, there's two things you need to know. Firstly is eBucks points, or points that you get by fulfilling certain rules on the eBucks website. Okay, these points allow you to level up your eBucks level from level 1 to 3 or to 5, whatever. You cannot spend it. eBucks is the thing that you can spend. That is the thing that you earn and you can spend it. Okay, cool. And then talking about eBucks rewards level, there's levels run from 1 to 5, and in order to get to level 5 you need to have 10,000 eBucks points. In terms of eBucks percentage back from your spend, it's still relatively the same. Clicks virtual card, you get 15% back on level 5, and Pick and Pay virtual card 20%, Pick and Pay ASAP 30%, and Pick and Pay clothing virtual card 20%, engine petrol, if you spend with your virtual card you get 4 rands per liter on virtual card on level 5, and then if you have a short-term insurance with FNB, then you get an additional 2 rand per liter. If you finance your car through Westbank, that's another 2 rand per liter. So altogether, if you fulfill all three, that's 8 rands per liter. Okay. In terms of video streaming, that's 40% back in eBucks. Music streaming, Spotify 40%. GuardMe 100%. ARC virtual card 15%. FNB Life Insurance Protect Series 15%. FNB Life Insurance Customized 40%. Short-term insurance comprehensive insurance 15%. FNB Foreign Exchange, I believe that's referring to fees, 50%. eBucks Partner Shop New Device 40%. Connect Sim 15%. So as you can see, level 5 is still worth it, but you need to do the calc yourself, because in order to get to level 5 now, there will be additional things that you would have to do compared to before, and you just need to do a calc if the cost of that outweighs the benefits. If that's the case, then there's no point in going for level 5, and you should probably consider other options. However, if the benefits of getting to level 5 still outweighs the cost, then I think it's still worthwhile to go through it. Cool. With that in mind, let's go straight into how you can get to level 5 on FNB Premier. And just in general, you need to boost up your savings and ensure that there's some deposits into your FNB accounts. Preferably maybe your salary goes into the FNB account. Okay. So let's get started. Firstly, income deposits. You see here meet requirements 1.1 and 2, 1000 points. Meet requirements 1.2 or 1.3 and 2, 2000 points. So 1.1 is have a minimum monthly deposit of at least 5,500 into your FNB Premier account or FNB Fusion Premier account. etc. Number 2 is initiate at least 10 debit transactions on your FNB Fusion Premier account. Now, prior to July 2025, you would have remembered it's an or, not and. And prior to that, you didn't have to deposit. You could just do 10 debit transactions, literally 10 EFTs or whatever that qualifies as a debit transaction, and you would have gotten these points. Now you actually have to have actual deposits into your hitting your FNB Premier account. Okay, so meeting requirements 1.1 and 1.1 and 2 is 1,000 points. And here's the key thing that you need to remember: if you do not meet at least one requirement listed in point 1, as well as the requirements listed on point 2, you'll be restricted to a maximum of reward level 3. Now that is definitely not what you want. Okay, so ensure that you perform this step, otherwise there's no point in going onwards because you'll be capped at level 3. Okay, so I don't think, again I'm making assumptions here, I don't think that it's that difficult to meet 1.2 or 1.3 and 2 if you are a Premier account holder. So 1.2 is have a minimum monthly deposit of 16,500 into FNB Premier account. Now that shouldn't be too difficult, you just direct your salary into your FNB account. Now again, you have to decide whether the benefit outweighs the cost of doing so. If the benefit outweighs it, then maybe you want to proceed. 1.3 is having average deposits over 12 months of at least 16,500 into your FNB Premier account. Now previously, if you haven't been depositing your salary into your FNB account, 1.3 will be difficult to meet, so you will most likely meet 1.2, but that's fine because it's right now it's an or statement. So that's 2,000 points. I'm going to count this 2,000 points because if you don't meet this 2,000 points, there's no point going forward because you'll be capped at level 3. Okay, so 2,000 of 1,000 of 10,000, so that's 20%. By the way, you need 10,000 plus points to get to level 5. Okay. Next, digital banking. Have at least 3 budget categories set up in Smart Budgets and access your Smart Budget every month. Okay, or engage with My Net Worth or engage with Create Status monthly. That is extremely simple on the new rules 250. If you remember in the past, this would have given you 1,000 points. Unfortunately, this is such an easy step to meet that now they have reduced it from 1,000 to 250. But nonetheless, it's still a decent 250 to get. Okay, so I'm going to count this because that's just a few buttons. Few clicks. Maintain a healthy credit status with NAB money with a status in light green or dark green. 500 points. Okay, that should also be relatively easy to achieve, unless, so generally speaking, if you pay your debts on time and you have decent savings in your FNB account, okay, you should have no problem in hitting light green or dark green. Okay, so I'm going to count the 500 points. And then view the Track My Rewards tab on the FNB app every month. Remember, this used to give you 1,000 points. So this got hit. Now you only get 250 points, which is which probably now makes sense because you just click one button, click one widget. Okay, so I'm going to count the 250 points and then pay your bills using FNB Pay Bills on the FNB app every month. So bonus point if you use FNB Pay Bills to pay your bills and it's more than 1,000, you get 1,000 points. I didn't count it here because I don't use FNB Pay Bills to pay my bills. But if you do, that's the additional 1,000 point you can count. So for now, I'm going to add 1,000 more points. So that's 3,000 points, 30% along the way. Next, we're talking about the cards. Have an active FNB Fusion account with a credit limit and an active card. Or have a FNB credit card account with a credit limit and an active card. So if you have Fusion or credit card, you get 1,000 points. Fusion and credit card get 2,000 points. Okay, so I have a Fusion and credit card. And you know what? This is the point where you have to ask yourself, are you a responsible credit card holder? So if you have a credit card, would you overspend unnecessarily? So if that's the case, if you can't control your credit card spending, then yeah, this is probably not for you. But say you really are good at controlling credit card spend, that you're just really using it as a tool to get points, then this is simple, easy points for you. So I'm going to add 2,000 from here. Use your virtual card for 80% of both your qualifying in-store and online spend in a calendar month, plus 500 points. Now, I don't think that's particularly difficult, as long as you make sure that whenever you spend, you always use your virtual card. So that's 2,500 points added to the 3,000, 5,500 out of 10,000. So that we're already halfway. Now, remember, we are trying to get to level 5 without taking out debt and without taking out insurance, because that's the main big change. The taking out life insurance gets you up to 5,000 points now. Okay, just taking out FNB life insurance. So this video will be on how you can get to level 5 without taking out debt and life insurance. Okay, so if you don't want to do that, then the only option is to focus on your savings. If, however, you already have debt, and say it's good debt, like home loans, like a bond with FNB, then that's good, because those are extra points you have already, and you probably don't need to fulfill these ones. But I'm just going to go through the really simple saving ones. So this is grow your FNB savings or retirement investment account by at least 1,400 per month. Now, savings is always a good habit to have, and you should always save and invest a portion of your money. And I don't think 1,400 is ridiculous for a FNB Premier account. So yes, if it's FNB savings account or retirement investment account, 500 points. Yes, FNB savings and retirement investment account, that's 1,000 points. So I'm going to go with a 1,000 points option. So that's 2,800 per month. So 1,400 into your savings account and 1,400 into your retirement investment account. So retirement investment accounts includes retirement annuity, pension and provident preservation fund, and living annuity. And yeah, I think it's just good habits to have. Maybe you have a retirement fund with your employer, but perhaps you want to boost that up with a retirement annuity with FNB. That could also work. So 1,000 points from that, and then make and maintain a monthly contribution of at least 1,000 Rand, or make an annual contribution of in the current tax year of 36,000 into a FNB tax-free shares, tax-free unit trust, or tax-free cash deposit account. So if it's 1,000 to 2,999, it's 500 points. It's 3,000 per month, 1,000, 36,000 total contribution into current tax year. It's 1,500. So I don't know if maybe people struggle to have 36,000 in one go. So 3,000 is probably a good option to go with. So that would essentially mean you need to save 3,000 plus 2,500, 2,800. So that's 5,800, which isn't too bad from a savings perspective. So if you're able to do that, that's additional 2,000 points. 75% along the way to level 5. Now, what do you do with the remaining 2,500 points? More savings. So hear me out. If this thing doesn't work for you, then try to look for other rules. I try to not focus on FNB life products or debt. Okay, so the way you can get your other 2,500 points is by saving more. Maintain a minimum monthly balance of at least 16,500 across your FNB savings account that are accessible within 7 days without incurring early withdrawal fees. So this would include your 7-day notice period, your savings pocket, money maximizer, whatever. Okay, 16,500 to 32,999, that's 500 points. 33,000 to 49,499, that's 1,000 points. So the next one is have an FNB savings account with a term of longer than 8 days and maintain a minimum monthly balance of 16,500 in the account. So this will include 32-day notice accounts and fixed deposits. So I'm thinking, depending on how you want to W this up, so you either get 1,000 points from here, which is have savings of at least 33,000, and then have 1,500 here, which is having savings of 49,500 that are longer term, not longer term, but takes longer to withdraw your money, like a 32-day notice account. There you go, you make up your 2,500 points. It may take you a bit longer to save this up, but say for example you have this amount of savings already in your other account, and say FNB has a better interest rate, then maybe you want to consider moving that across to get these points. And that's where I would go for my remaining 2,500 eBucks points. And if you do that, 10,000, level 5, not so difficult. Not very difficult. If this thing doesn't really work for you, then you probably have to look for other rules that you don't mind meeting. And in those cases, you may have to take out FNB a bond. If you have an existing one, then you got those points already. Or maybe you pay your bills with FNB pay bills. That could get you up to 1,000 points. Otherwise, you're gonna take out some life insurance if you don't have life insurance and FNB life offers a competitive rate. Then that may be worth looking into. That will then give you the points that you need to get to level 5. Okay, so hope that helps, and I'll see you at level 5. And yeah, that's it. Catch you next one.